Three papers will be presented here. Uh, in the first paper, I would like to introduce uh, Mr. Mohan Silera Ganda from Al Yaman University, King, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Today, he will present in the topic neural networks based on predictors for 3D content streaming and rendering. The presenter have 20 minutes for present, in a 15 for present, and the rest is 15 minutes for present, and 5 minutes for question and answer. Please, the first presenter, please present your paper.
Good afternoon. I thank the chair for giving the opportunity to present my paper. The paper title is Neural Network Based Predictors for 3D Content Streaming and Rendering. Myself, Dr. Mohan, my co-author is here, Dr. Wani. So this is the agenda of my presentation here. Let me first tell you the motivation behind our work and a little background about our work and the objective of the paper. And we have a few approaches for 3D prediction. I'll show that, and then finally we'll discuss about the results and the performance of our proposed work. So the motivation is that the world is moving towards 3D. I know that most of you would have experienced the 3D world in the website itself. The best example is your Google Street View, which is actually rendering from the server. From your, the result is in your web browser itself. So this experiment we have conducted about 4 years back when we started modeling a prayer tower in our previous university in India, and then we connected this 3D model in a server and made a few users to connect to the server and made the users to interact with the 3D model. You could see here these users are connected from the network and they interact with the 3D model in a peer-to-peer network. So the basic idea is that to find out how well this 3D model is streamed from the server to the client. The basic idea is not to allow the users to download the 3D models. Instead, make them to stream, just like YouTube. YouTube is streaming the video, but here we are trying to stream the 3D models. So the applications are the real motivations, like creating the virtual environments, like creating a virtual museum, virtual university, virtual MMOG. You would have seen the Google Street View itself. There are a lot of virtual museums. Like they have taken a photograph of the museum, and then you can interact with the museums. And then typically we have the client-server architecture in which the old models will not stream. Instead, they will allow the users to download the 3D model. In that case, the waiting time for the download is too much. It will consume a lot of network bandwidth because every time the user sees the model, they download. And then, of course, when you download the 3D models, it takes so much of memory. So now you could see earlier we had an application called Google Earth. You need to download that application and use, but nowadays it is available in your browser itself. You don't have to download, it's streaming. So the world is 3D, you're interacting through the browser with the 3D models. Like this is one of the screenshots from the Google Street View. So the real-time 3D content delivery over the network is based on purely the user interactions. If you take the YouTube, the video streaming, to some extent it is user interactive, but not fully. because the video is just streaming, the users will be viewing the videos. Whereas the 3D models, you don't have to, it's not like user is passive. Whereas in YouTube, the video streaming is passive. The user opens the video and just keeps watching it. The interaction is only forward and rewind and pause, play, that thing. But whereas in the 3D streaming, the interaction is very, very high. The user will be, panning, zooming, rotating, the interaction will be more. So the user interaction is one of the basic criteria here. So the 3D streaming requirements is that the 3D streaming quality should be good from the user perspective, because the quality of the 3D model is decided by the visual experience. It is supposed to be a quick response. If you download something, if you stream something, you need to get the response quickly, and you need to have a minimum storage capacity, because now the world is moving towards the handheld devices. So handheld devices, you cannot expect a too huge storage to be there to download the model. So the objectives of the paper is to profile the user interactions and construct neural network based predictors. So the objective here is, given a 3D model, how the user is interacting with the 3D model, can we predict the user's movement or user's interaction with respect to a model? And then to analyze the performance of the neural network based predictors for 3D content streaming and rendering, so that how far the prediction is good. What is the performance of the prediction? That's the objective of the paper. So the experiment results obtained and the implications studied are, we have already done this, based on the Bayes probabilistic network and the Markov chain model. We have already published this work, and this is actually the motivation for us to experiment on the neural network predictors also. So the neural network based approach is explored here to construct and validate the predictive models to a larger extent. The validated predictive 3D models can later be used for effective 3D streaming and rendering. So the parameters considered here, because the neural network needs a lot of discretized parameters. So we need to feed the discrete parameters to the model, to the neural network. So we have parameters considered here in this paper. Given a 3D model, we have 6 views, because there are n number of views for a 3D model, but we need to discretize this view. We have discretized into 6 views, like top, bottom, left and right, front and back. And then we have the eye position, which is typically the camera parameters, and the eye orientation, where the movement of the eye in the camera, and then the position of the object in the 3D world space. And then, because the user interaction is considered, we have included the key press, which key the user is pressing next. So that key press is also included. For example, if I use the up arrow, down arrow, right arrow, left arrow for interacting with the object, so which key the user is going to press, that is also considered. So this is the pictorial representation of what we have considered here to discretize the 3D parameters. So given an object which keeps moving across a particular axis, for example x-axis, we have considered 2 cases here. One is a static model, another one is a dynamic model. Which means, given a 3D world space, if the object is static, only the camera is rotating around, that is a static object, but the user interaction is happening. The other one is the model is keep on moving in the 3D space. That is dynamic, but still the users will be able to come across the object and they will be able to see. So you can see here, the 4 views are given here, but I said 6 views. The 2 views are unable to be represented here, assumed to be one front of the screen, one behind the screen. So the approaches here are, one is, based on 2 perspectives. One is the user perspective. For example, how many users are connecting to an object? What is the perspective of the user? And the other one is with respect to the 3D model, 3D objects. And we have 3 approaches here by looking at all these combinations. One is progressive single user, single 3D model. Given a 3D model, given a single user, how he is navigating through or interacting through the object, we predict. First we train our network based on some key press, and then we allow him to experiment on the same model, and we try to match this and we say how well our prediction is. And then single user, multiple 3D models. given many models, one user will be interacting with all the models. During the training, one set of tuples are taken, and then during the testing, we compare how well the prediction works. And the same case extended to multiple users. So multiple users and single 3D model. Given a 3D model, we have multiple users. Each user will have their own way of looking at the object. This is a typical real-time scenario. Given a 3D model in the server, each one will be looking at the 3D model in a different way. So we predict for each user how they interact with the object. So this is the first case, single user and then single 3D model. You can see this the circle around the 3D object is a navigation. The circle is not so clear in the projector. You can see here there is a small line which goes around, and this is a single user but more than one object. Okay, we have multiple 3D models, and this is a typical case where one model is there but at the same time many users are interacting with the 3D model. These are some of the experimental results that we have attained. So this is a feed-forward neural network-based predictors performance. You can see this is progressive user interaction profiles of static 3D armadillo model. The name of the model is armadillo. One model which is static in the 3D world space. The single user, progressive user in the sense, a single user and going through the object in multiple instances of time. So that is progressive user interaction profiles. You can see the various experimental results and the regression. You can see the regression, the achievement, the efficiency is very high in our prediction because single user, single model. So most of the time, it is a tendency of the user that they will be more or less viewing the object in the same way. And this is single user interaction profiles based on dynamic 3D model called the cow model. Another one is a static 3D dumbstruck model. So we have two objects here, but single user interaction profiles. Another one is same single interaction profiles of the other model, static 3D model and dynamic 3D armadillo model. So as I said, for the dynamic we have considered the movement of the object in one particular axis. We have taken only x-axis here for our experiment, but this can be all the combinations. For example, x, y also it can go diagonally. Only one axis like z-axis it can go, or it can go in the y-axis, or the combination of y and z-axis. We have considered only simple x-axis for the experimental results, but this has n number of combinations. You can put any number of dynamic movement. And then single user interactions of dynamic 3D angel model. So this is another model, right? Single user but multiple models. And this is the overall summary of all the approaches that we have made here. You can see the progressive single user model, single user multiple 3D models, multi-user single 3D models. You can see which algorithm has performed better here. So out of all the experimental results, we have found that the LM outperforms in most of the approaches because it always gives less error and more high accuracy in the prediction. And we always achieve higher efficiency of prediction in the case where users while interacting with the specific models. For example, I have user X interacting with model Y. We train X to Y and then a test X to Y. We have high prediction. It is a very simple case. So we end up with a higher efficiency. And the prediction results are based on the combination of users and models. So we cannot always say that, for example, if I say a 3D model, say the armadillo model, with many users like X, Y, Z. X may be interacting with the armadillo model in a different way. Y may be interacting with the same model in a different way. Of course, Z also will be interacting with the model in a different way. So we cannot say that X and Y will be always interacting with the same way. No. So this is not possible. Each user will have their own way of interacting with the 3D model. Because going through the model, 3D model, you have n number of interactions, n number of ways. Because it's in the 3D space. We have given a complete interaction through the model. they can use rotate. They can just come around the object. They can zoom in, and they can pan, x-axis, y-axis, all combinations of 3D coordinates. So that's what has been given here. So the prediction results are purely based on the object and the users. So we need to first train the system based on the users with a given 3D model, and then later on some other time we predict, and the objective is to stream only the portion of the object which has been viewed by the user, not the entire model, because the 3D model will have a huge number of triangles. I'm sure all of you would have done some testing on your Android mobile, ANTU testing, benchmark. So in that case, one of the benchmark is to find out the 3D representation in the model, the number of triangles and the rendering. So you will have a huge number of triangles to be transmitted when you have the streaming. So which part of the object has to be transmitted will be decided based on this prediction. So that's the conclusion of our work. I'm done with the presentation. If there is any questions, please.
Oh, it is real time for prediction?
Come again, please.
Is it real time for prediction?
It's real, means the profiling is taken. The profiling,
we
the
have-
user profiles
yes.
are taken in
Okay.
real time, and the prediction is done with the help of neural network offline.
Well, if you don't do it offline, why you don't learn the whole data set before?
No, we have trained the neural network and we have tested. It is not applied in the real world. We have
See,
done
it could be to some extent. I'll say that we can average. For example, I take 1,000 users on a single model.
Well, if you have 1,000 users, you have a lot of data and everything can be
I'm
learned.
sure. Yes, we have huge number of data,
So
but the data is only in terms of text and numbers.
And why neural network?
Sorry.
Why neural network? Why do you choose neural network? I feel that it should be like a Markov chain.
We have already tried with the Markov model, the Bayes model.
That is done.
We have already done. We have published that work on already. If you want, I'll give you reference.
No, that's what.
Okay. Any question? I have a question. What is your target when you compare with your and your model use a regression model? Yes or no?
I'm sorry, I cannot get you.
You and classification or regression?
It's a classification.
In
Yeah,
classification,
it's not a regression model. It's a classification.
it's gradient.
Yeah.
How many cars that you use in this research?
How many?
How many cars? How many groups?
The groups, number of
Groups.
groups.
No.
It depends on the key press. We have taken left, that is up down key, left right,
For the pan?
and yeah, that is for the navigation. Then plus and minus for zoom in, zoom out. So likewise, I have given in the references, one of the references where we have discussed how the prediction is done, what are the various key press, and what is the mapping. Okay, so it is basically this minimum is six groups.
Six groups.
Yeah, the current key press, based on which the next key press is predicted.
Thank you. Okay. We will give you a certificate after all finished.
Sure.
Just waiting.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay.